Brain here from the Niner Power Podcast. I run the Instagram page 49ers Coverage, joined by
Raj Melwani. I run the page Our SF Niners. Joining Brayden here with the Niner Power Podcast. And today we're previewing the 49ers preseason game 1 and talking about the injuries that the 49ers have unfortunately have suffered this week. So let's get right into the injuries. Unfortunately, this week in training camp, the Niners had some injuries, some not so major and some that are kind of having the fans biting their tongue and having stressful moments. It caused the uprise around the Niner fan base, and rightfully so, because the last couple of seasons, team's been riddled with injuries. So anytime you hear the word injury, it's kind of causes panic. So the injury report that I'm looking at, we have Nick Bosa with a high ankle sprain. Jason Verrett has an ankle sprain. Jerick McKinnon, he had soreness in his knee, so he's going to be held back a little bit. D Ford, of course, he's still battling tendonitis in his knee. Ronald Blair was a new injury, scratch, on training camp with a groin injury. Same thing with Arik Armstead. He had a calf injury. Weston Richburg is still dealing with his knee injury. He's on the PUP list, as well as Garrett Selleck, who is also on the PUP list with back injuries and concussion. Joshua Garnett is still dealing with his finger that he had surgery on, and he will miss a couple more weeks. And Malcolm Smith is also joined the injury list. Unfortunately for him, he's been dealing with injuries a lot, a hamstring injury. And Jimmy Ward is still rehabbing from his collarbone fracture. And Jeff Wilson, the running back, is also dealing with the calf injury. So that's a lot to digest right there. But we'll go over these real quick.
All right, so let's jump into the Nick Bosa injury here. So it raises lots of concerns for injury-prone Nick Bosa. I mean, Kyle Shanahan already debunked that, said he's not injury-prone, which kind of relieves the fan base a bit here because he's already suffered 2 injuries in camps this year. In regards to his ankle, it could be worse. It could be a high, like a level 4 ankle sprain rather than just a low ankle sprain. So, Raj, what do you have to say about that?
Going off what you said about Shanahan, I quoted him, and he says, Shanahan said, "Everyone acts like he's a guy who's going to get hurt or wants to get hurt, but I've been around one of the most physical rookies in practice against the run, against the pass." He says he wants to come back tomorrow. He's trying to get out there and play with it. He had the unfortunate event of a 300-pound man landing on his leg. So, I mean, it's kind of a bad luck injury. He had a lineman fall on him. That doesn't always happen. He was under the pile. Lineman falls, twisting his ankle, and it caused an ankle injury. At first, the report said it was a minor ankle injury. Then they said it was a high ankle injury, a high ankle sprain. To me, as a physical therapist, high ankle sprain is a little bit more severe than a normal ankle sprain because of the stability of the ankle. Putting pressure, weight bearing on the leg causes pain and soreness when you're running. So it is a little bit cause for concern, but he's not going to play the preseason, is what he said. Timetable could be 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the severity. And they already said, like you said, it's a low-grade high ankle sprain. So that does relieve me a bit. I don't think it's one of those injuries that's going to cause his career to go, down the drains like a lot of fans are acting. It's a minor setback, and the team's trainers are being cautious still. They're going to limit him, and they'll reevaluate him before week 1 to see if he can go on it.
To add on about the trainers there, I've seen lots of comments on my page about, the trainers are not acting like they should be. Oh, I thought we hired new trainers. But it's like, you can't stop a 300-pound lineman from falling on Bosa. I mean, it's just a fluke injury. Stuff happens. You can't prevent injuries by not practicing. You can't just sit these players down and be like, hey, we're going to wait for week 1 just so you guys don't get injured. These guys need to be keeping their bodies going 100% to be able to be playing week 1.
Yeah, I feel it. Shanahan even said this about Bosa and Jason Verrett. They're dealing with 2 guys that it means more than them to play football and be successful than you could ever imagine. They believe that everything they do is this game. This is their game. This is what they want to. This is their livelihood. So Shanahan knows these guys want to play. They know they're not trying to, cause injury to their body. It's just unfortunate, and these things happen. Football injuries happen. As a fan, does it get me upset? Of course, but at the end of the day, we have a very good medical staff, and they've been doing good in my eyes. They're being very cautious, and as a PT myself, pain versus soreness is one thing. If you're pushing someone and it's causing pain, you might be overworking them. The whole no pain, no gain theory. To me, I kind of don't like that. I debunk that. If you're causing pain, that could cause more damage in the long run. So let these guys heal up and play when they're ready. It's kind of like Matt Breida last season. They kept playing the guy, and well, I know part of it is he wanted to, but they kept letting him play. That ankle never got 100%, and he never made it through a full season. So we want these guys to be at their pinnacle. It's an unfortunate event, but it happens.